I've gone over it. The jealousy. Maybe Loki did not like me because I was so focused on and upset about everybody else's gains. Maybe it was that. Maybe it wasn't. But here's the thing, okay? Why the hell would he expect me to be perfect? And the thing is like, this is a fault that I was very much aware of. I was aware that I felt maybe a little bit of jealousy, maybe a lot of jealousy. I do not sit here and claim to be a good person. I've never sat here and claimed to be a good person. I try to be as clear as possible about the fact that maybe I'm not the greatest person to deal with. But when I talk about the mentor and I talk about her gains, this was after she had did what she did to me. And a lot of people would be like, well, maybe you need to think about what you did to her. And believe me, I've thought about it a lot. But I want to make this very clear. She was still wrong to use the names of 3 different deities to control someone else. That's still wrong. It doesn't matter how nasty I was. She should not have been rewarded for it. There should have been consequences, and there weren't. And that was my problem, was whenever her stuff would float around and I'd see her gains and her successes, it was not as simple as me just being jealous. It was, is this a sign that I'm not supported by Loki? Is this a sign that the gods have abandoned me and are blaming me and are angry at me for what happened between me and her, and they support her? And that's what it felt like. It was not as simple as me just being the green monster of jealousy and reacting and getting upset to other people's successes and gains. There was an element of that, but it was more than that. I had to wonder, okay, why am I struggling so hard and she doesn't seem to be? Maybe I shouldn't have been taking things at face value. Maybe I shouldn't have cared. But I would go over, okay, what did I do in this situation that made it to where maybe she was justified? And I will admit, there were a lot of times where I was kind of a brat. I would have anxiety attacks, and to her, from her perspective, it seemed like I was putting pressure on her. I was pretty obsessed with him. I was kind of a whiny little baby. There were times where I would say stuff or ask stuff, and it sounded like I was pressuring her to have him come through. I did have my own brand of poison in this situation. But there were a lot of times where she would fake being possessed by Loki and ask for stuff like cleaning her house, helping her with stuff. I'm gonna reward you for helping mentor person. But she got support, and I didn't feel supported.